Hi, welcome. My name is Gautam Ray and we will be talking about IT alignment. I have three goals in this module. My first goal is to define IT governance and explain its significance. My second goal is to provide a framework for IT governance. IT governance means making decisions about IT, deciding who will make those decisions, and then laying out how they will make those decisions. My third goal is to provide a mechanism or a tool to align IT with the business strategy and goals of the organization. I'm going to use the construct of an operating model and the notion of the maturity of an enterprise architecture to achieve this IT business alignment. So three goals: define IT governance, a framework for IT governance, and an operating model and a maturity of enterprise architecture to achieve IT business alignment. So the first question is, why do we care about these things? So here I have a graph that shows IT investment made by US organizations. So Society for Information Management is an industry organization, and since 1980 it has been surveying IT executives about many things. This slide provides the response to the question about IT spending in this organization. What this graph says is that a typical organization that responds to this survey spends about 6% of their revenue on IT. So you are a billion-dollar company, that would mean that annually you spend about $60 million on IT. This survey also found that for 3/4 of these organizations, the investment in IT has been increasing. So this graph and the previous graph show that US organizations are making significant investments in IT. However, the returns from these investments have been less than stellar. So a McKinsey study, so here we see a McKinsey study which looked at the performance of over 5,000 IT projects. What this McKinsey study found was that a typical project is 45% over budget. So they expected to spend $100 on a project, but they ended up spending $145. A typical project is also 7% behind schedule. So they are 7% behind schedule. This study also found that a typical project has a 56% shortfall in expected benefits. They expected to realize $100 from a project, but they only realized $44. This McKinsey study also found that the primary reason for the shortfall in project performance is missing focus. That is, these projects didn't have clear objectives, or if they had clear objectives, these objectives were not aligned with the business goals and strategy of the organization. This misalignment is actually very well illustrated by the Society for Information Management study that I alluded to earlier. This survey, the Society for Information Management survey, has been asking senior IT executives about the most important IT management issues that they face. And remarkably, for the last 10 years, alignment of IT with the business has been one of the top 2 IT management issues. So remarkable consistency that senior IT executives think that alignment of IT with the business is one of the two most important issues they face. This brings us to the question of IT governance. IT governance is a response to this problem that firms are making significant investments in IT, but they are not realizing the expected payoffs. So IT governance deals with what can organizations do to make sure that their IT is aligned with and is contributing to the organization's goals and strategies. The Institute of Internal Auditors defines IT governance as the leadership, organizational structures, and processes that ensure that the enterprise's information technology supports the organization's strategies and objectives. Likewise, Gartner defines IT governance as the set of processes that ensure the effective and efficient use of IT in enabling an organization to achieve its goals. In the next lesson, we will dig deeper into these definitions. Thank you. All right, let's get into the definition of IT governance. As I said, the Institute of Internal Auditors defines IT governance as the leadership, organizational structures, and processes that ensure that the enterprise's information technology supports the organization's strategies and objectives. So let's look at the word leadership first. In this definition, leadership means the directors on the board that are responsible for governing IT. Leadership also includes CIO or any other IT executive on the board that is responsible for governing IT. And leadership also includes any board level committees that are there to monitor and govern IT. So what does this leadership do? They have two roles. The first role is monitoring or oversight. They are responsible for asking questions like, are we making good investments in IT? Is IT contributing to organizational performance? And are we complying with all the regulations that go along with IT? So this is their first role. The second role they have is they provide their expertise to the organization. They explain to the organization, or it is their responsibility to make sure that the organization understands what is the role of IT in their industry, and is the organization taking advantage of its IT opportunities. The board is also responsible for providing preferential access to external IT providers. It's very natural for any organization to lack some expertise. So it is the role of the IT governance board to get access to external service provider and make it available to the organization. So the role of leadership is provide oversight and provide expertise and access to external specialists. The next question is, what happens if the leadership fails to perform its role? In this regard, I'm going to point to a very interesting study conducted by Michael Benarok and his co-author. They examined 110 operational failures in financial services firms in the US. What they found was whenever there is an IT failure at a large US financial services firm, the stock price of the firm goes down, and the drop in stock price is associated with changes on the board. So what are the changes on the board? The first change is there is an increase in number of directors with IT competence. The idea here is there was an IT failure, which means there was an IT governance failure, which means the leadership did not have the expertise to provide the oversight that they needed to provide. So one resolution to this problem is to add more directors to the leadership so that the organization is able to provide the oversight that is needed. So IT failures were associated with change in the number of directors. So new directors were added, new directors that had IT competence. Another implication of the IT failure is that there is a turnover in the CIO or the CTO role. So there is an IT failure, stock price goes down, and the CIO or the CTO is replaced. Just to give you an example of this, I'm going to refer to a local company, Target. Target is the largest discount retailer in the US after Walmart, and on December 19th, 2013, Target disclosed a breach of 40 million credit card accounts over a 3-week period before Christmas. On January 10, 2014, the company said hackers also stole personal information from as many as 70 million customers. As of March 2014, Target shares were down 6% since the breach was disclosed. So sort of this illustrates that there was an IT failure. The IT failure was associated with a significant drop in the market price, significant drop in the share price of the company. And on March 6, 2014, Target's CIO resigned. And on May 5th, 2014, Target CEO and chairman resigned amid fallout from the data breach. So here we see an example where there is an IT failure, and the IT failure is subsequently followed by the CIO being replaced and the CEO also having to go. So this example illustrates the negative implications of IT governance. That is, what happens if IT governance fails? Now I would like to point you to another study which highlights the positive significance of IT governance. This study was done by Wu et al. What they find is that IT governance is associated with IT business alignment, and IT business alignment is associated with firm performance. To dig a little deeper into this study, what they found was that IT governance, in this study, IT governance was measured in various ways. Two of them are highlighted here. The first one is steering committee. That is, did the company have a IT committee to monitor and govern IT investments and IT plans? Did the company have an IT investment prioritization process? That is, did the company have a well-defined process to evaluate all the IT ideas and proposals and then choose the best ones? This study found that IT governance was associated with IT business alignment. In this study, IT business alignment was measured as alignment between business and IT about products, that is, deciding which products to introduce. IT business alignment was measured as process alignment, that is, business and IT aligned in terms of how different processes will work, and finally alignment between business and IT about which markets to enter. This study found that IT business alignment was associated with firm performance, that is, IT business alignment leads to improvement in financial performance measured as improvement in return on assets and return on equity. Operational excellence, that is, efficiency of processes in the organization compared to the efficiency in competitors' processes. And customer satisfaction measured as how satisfied the firm's customers are compared to the competitors' customers. So this study sort of clearly suggests that the mechanism through which IT governance contributes is IT governance leads to IT business alignment, and IT business alignment leads to superior firm performance. In the next video, I'm going to discuss what specific questions you should be asking if you are in a leadership position and are responsible for IT governance. Thank you. All right, welcome back. So if you are in the leadership position in IT and are responsible for IT governance, what questions should you be asking? So I would say that you should be asking 6 questions. The first question is, how will IT change the basis of competition in our industry? That is, who are our emerging competitors? How is IT helping us win against traditional and new competitors? And how can we use IT to enter new markets? So the point here is, if you are in the leadership position in your company and are responsible for IT governance, you should have a good understanding of what is the role of IT in your industry and what are you doing to take advantage of new opportunities. The second question you should be asking is, do our business plans reflect the full potential of IT to improve performance? That is, does IT support operational efficiency as well as strategic agility? That is, you should be asking the question, is IT doing everything to improve the operational efficiency of the organization as well as providing opportunities to differentiate and innovate? The third question you should be asking is, do we have the capabilities required to deliver value from IT? That is, you should be asking, do we have the human capital to leverage the opportunities that IT provides? The next question you should be asking is our IT investment portfolio aligned with opportunities and threats? That is, does the portfolio balance short-term as well as long-term needs? That is the IT investment portfolio meeting today's needs as well as preparing the company for whatever may come in the future? The next question you should be asking is, who is responsible for realizing value from IT? That is, who is accountable for IT? There should be individuals in the IT organization who should make sure that the company is making the right investments and then deriving the value from those investments. And finally, you should be asking the question, are we comfortable with our level of IT risk? So we know that our IT investment portfolio has many risks associated with it. So we should be asking the question, do we understand all the risks and have we taken measures to protect ourselves against those risks? So we can think of IT governance as an umbrella, and there are 2 key dimensions or parts to this umbrella. The first is a strategic focus of the umbrella, and then there is a tactical part that I will come to. The strategic focus in IT governance is alignment of organizational and IT strategies. That is, does the organization have processes, methods, standards in place to make sure that the business plans align with IT plans and the IT plans align with the business plans. The second element of the strategic focus of IT governance is realization of IT opportunities. That is, are we making sure that we are taking advantage of all the opportunities that IT provides? So this is the strategic focus of IT governance. IT governance also has a tactical element. The tactical element can be divided into 4 elements. The first is realization of IT project and operations value. So IT investment is made in terms of individual projects. Are we making sure that these individual projects are meeting their goals? So that is, are the projects on time? Are the projects realizing the value that they were expected to provide? The second tactical element is effective management and responsible use of IT resources. So are we using our IT resources responsibly? For example, if we are using software, different software in the organization, are we making sure that all the software licenses are up to date? The third tactical element of IT governance is management of IT related business risks. So there are significant risks associated with the IT investment portfolio, as the target example illustrated. So are we making sure that we have evaluated our risks and have safeguards in place? And finally, are we complying with all the IT related laws and regulations? So to summarize, IT governance has a sort of a strategic element and a tactical element. We make sure that we have an IT governance in place that takes or leverages both dimensions of IT governance, the strategic element as well as the tactical element. Thank you.